Good evening. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing? Betty from Missouri. That's how you got to say Missouri. Missouri. You don't say like us New Jersey people say Missouri, but it's Missouri. All right.
Just like so you say car instead of car.
And people say Newark, and it's Newark. Hello, Lewis, Marie, Anna,
Potatoes. Thank you, Celine.
How's everyone doing? Happy Monday. Hello, Donna, Veronica, Lauren, sorry, Kay. How's everyone doing? We're back. Hello again. Love the horns. Yes, she's got to draw attention to herself. That's just why people feel like they have to give her own action figure and her Funko Pop, because it's just a cry for, look at me, pay attention to me. I'm here.
He cries a lot, doesn't he?
I have to wear horns.
Hello, hey, Dad. Tracy. I like that cheese, by the way.
I did not like that cheese.
I like the cheese.
Tracy. I actually spit it back into my hand.
Heather was at the Metuchen Diner. Cool.
Hey, Heather. How are you?
Cheese.
Anyway, we're back. Lot planned, lots of stuff coming up, actually, that I've been working on for a few weeks there. Hello, Kathy. Alex, how are you? When we last did a live, we actually, in between that, I actually don't like Dr. Pepper. I
love Dr. Pepper.
I don't like Dr. Pepper at all. I just like the shirt. Anyway, we were at the Creeper Gallery for the final send-off of 7 West Bridge Street, and then we had the event on Saturday, so we've been kind of busy. Bittersweet. Hey, Nicole. Hello, Dana. Patricia. But bittersweet, the last one at the Creeper Gallery, because again, I can remember back to when I first met Donna and we first went in there the first time, all the way up to that last time, and
all the shenanigans in between.
Yeah, saying goodbye, and it was kind of bittersweet. And you know, who knows what's going to happen with the new place and how it's going to work out. But you know, we had a great run at the old place, and you know, it was kind of sad to say goodbye, even when we left for the night and we were packing up everything, bless you, and loading up the car. It was like the last episode of Cheers or something, or Friends, when they leave the building and shut the door. it really was sad for us. So again,
and the subject matter that we went out on were brutal. They were brutal.
But you know, good things must end, and you know, like we said, we don't know what's going to happen going forward.
Something ends for something new to start.
Do you have a book of cliches? Is that in front of you?
I will always look at the glasses half full.
There's another one. Ding! We got 2 within a minute. What else you got?
A porcupine will be
That is,
in your
doesn't
bed
even make sense.
tonight.
Hello, Nicole. How are you? So, yeah, bittersweet. Like I said,
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to happen with the new place. We're just going to appreciate what we did in the old place, and a lot of good memories there. A lot of good memories there in that building and downstairs in the basement. Just again, so many come to mind. But hey, Jason. So yeah, it was hard to say goodbye for sure because we don't know what's going to happen next. So, and then we were with the legend, Mr. John Zaffis, who I meant what I said in that post. I could literally investigate with that guy every weekend and never get tired of it. Never get tired. He is just, he's like Master Yoda. He really is, for you Star Wars fans like me, he really is like working with like one of the wise older guys in this field who's just so even keel. He's got no ego. John has zero ego, zero. And he should have an ego like some of these others that are out there and think they're, the best thing around. John should have all of that for all the cases he worked on and all the things that he's done in his career. John deserves to have every bit of an ego, but none.
He sits down with no hesitation doing whatever he's doing with the group of people, and he's just so open to everybody's ideas and experience, and he incorporates you. He's never this guy that makes you feel, I'm the know-it-all, I've got this down. And I just sat in the room when he got to my section and just watched him with the people and bringing them in, and it was just amazing.
So those of you who don't know, the camera's here.
Hi, Jeff.
And Chris is there. So if you see her,
I can't see it over there
at her screen instead of the camera. We were just trying to figure out the level and everything. But no, John, we worked with him a couple of times last year at Camp Evans. He really liked the building. He really liked what was going on there, the activity experience. And it's like an event that I get to attend that we normally don't get to do, because when he's with us, when he's in my group, I started doing things, but then I just let him take over.
Thank you, Bonnie.
And I try to, I don't want to step on toes, so I try to get in where I can. And everybody was asking questions, and he's just, like I said, I could do that every weekend and be happy, because he shows up. We've known him for years now, so it's always a hug, and it's always talking about everything in the paranormal field that we talk about, together. Who's doing what, who's trashing who are the good people, who are the bad people, what buildings, what places, so we just catch up on everything. And then, the people arrive, and he's just, like I said, just so outgoing, so approachable. And there's not a question you could ask him that he doesn't have an answer for. I mean, even if
he'll tell you if he doesn't know.
Yeah,
right?
But that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't, but he's still going to tell you what his opinion is and what his experience is. And
did you have where he was basically yelling at his uncle, his deceased uncle, to stay out of it, let him do what he's doing?
He does that almost every session.
It's hysterical.
He actually did that with me because we were up in the attic and we were getting stuff on the Echo Box. He loves the Echo Box. And all of a sudden we all heard it. I heard it and he heard it. We heard Edward. And he's like, not talking to you. And then he just continued. And it was the weirdest thing because he just, like,
in my group, they kept stop interrupting
as if he was there. And his uncle Ed Warren, he's just not talking to you now, and then goes on about his business investigating. So I'm glad so many people were there, and you guys all had a good time. We had a great time. It's never a bad time with him. He went in all the different areas like he does. Great group of
people that came out too.
Oh yeah, that was
amazing group of people.
Yeah.
And they were all on board for everything we threw at them.
Well, they have to be, or what choice they have? They're locked in a building. We're not going to let them out of
Sometimes there. I'm not on board.
But he went in every area. He participates everywhere he goes, and not only that, we've worked with people in the past that are kind of you know, there, and they don't really participate all that much, or they don't try to take the lead, and they don't really show what they could do, kind of, in,
Hey,
you know,
Chris.
investigating wise. And John's not a guy like that. John's a
No.
guy that he's interested, he's involved, he's engaged. He wants to find out, just like we want to find out as much as we can in that time period of being in that building.
You're having a moment to absorb as much as you possibly can. It's like a speed round. How much can you get out of before that knowledge goes away? You know, so
And
you
he
try to
tries,
take it all in.
but he tries the whole time. I mean,
Oh,
he literally, and he carried with him wherever he was before. He would again tell us what they were hearing in other floors, because mine was the top floor.
yeah.
And some of that stuff.
Yeah, because he started from bottom and worked
Yeah.
his way up, which I think was an unusual thing. And there were a few, and I'm always honored when they do this. There were a few rooms that weren't accessible to us before that they opened up, so we'd have more access to something new. And that's always a unique thing when you start adding in more spaces and stuff when you haven't experienced it yourself. And he's going in for the first time with a group of people, so that right there I thought was really unique.
Yeah, you know, like I said, he's been in there, and that building, Info Age building, was the building we had to. It was raining the whole entire night, pouring the whole entire night. We originally had plans to use the bunker building as well as the cottage across the way, but in the rain, you're not bringing people out and bringing them back and all that. So we were all kind of in one building together. But that Info Age building is, if you watch the Channel 11 piece with Ben, Halloween, that is an active building. And even
Right.
John says that man, this building's active. It's like top to bottom.
Yeah.
You know, there could be stuff happening anywhere. And those people have been great to us. Gloria, you know, has, welcomed us with open arms for years and trusts us in that building, because others have been in that building and not done the right thing, gone broken into areas they shouldn't have, were messing with stuff they shouldn't have. And that's why, people harp on, only one group being allowed in one building. Well, when some others do damage and ruin things and potentially break something that's priceless and can't be replaced.
Yeah, it was a museum piece on loan to them that they worked really hard to be allowed to borrow, and it was broken. Yeah. Somebody purposely broke it doing something they shouldn't, and it can't be replaced. So it's history that's lost.
This is why some buildings only deal with some people who they trust. It's just the way it is. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Jonathan and both Susans, and there's a lot of people that came on here. So hi.
So you guys that were there, thank you.
That's a new room that we got, Alex.
Thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. John will be back with us in May. I don't remember. I think it's the 25th. I'm almost pretty sure it's the 25th. I had a mix up with some dates today. There's so much stuff in the works and going on as far as events and other things I want to do. And with all that has happened in the last month or two, it kind of, things get lost in the sauce and I get mixed up a little. So I'm trying to reset everything. Like this Friday, we're with the Girl Scouts at Centenary University. So, we kind of forgot about that. So we got to
May 25th.
Yeah, it is May 25th. So this Friday, we will be making an announcement. If you're at the Camp Evans event, you already know what the announcement is, because we sort of told everybody there. And it's going to be very, very cool. It's connected to an event that we're doing. And I'll make the announcement here on Friday. And also the tickets will be on sale that same day after we do the live stream on which we announce the event. But it's going to be really, really, really cool. Really cool. And it hasn't been done before the way we're doing it. I can't really go into more. I'll go into specifics later. But it's going to be really, really cool. And if you get a ticket to that one, you won't be disappointed, because the building's cool. It involves someone we all know and love, and there'll be things going on that are part of the event that haven't been done before, not by us or by the person who's involved.
Very
Can't be any more cryptic than that. But it's gonna be cool, and you're gonna want to come to that event because it's gonna be different. I'm all for experimenting and trying different things. I believe that there's a place for that in what we do. You know, I think open your mind. Don't do any weird stuff like with animal. I don't. I would never hurt an animal in my life. Chris will tell you. I mean, taxidermy. I hate taxidermy. I hate it. But I wouldn't do any weird stuff like that. But I would try pretty much anything as far as, you know, investigative techniques. If someone told me, you know, picking your nose and putting it on your head would make spirits come, guess what?
It
I
doesn't.
picked one, I put it on Chris's head,
Just so we're
and
clear,
we'd see if it worked.
Doesn't.
And we see if it worked.
That I know of.
I
I'm not trying
I'd
that.
try it on her.
No, you
For
wouldn't.
sure.
No.
But I would. I believe in experimentation. I think that's the best way to
Because we don't know.
find out, you know. No, we don't.
Yeah,
know.
Kathy, be careful. He might do it to you.
No, I wouldn't do it to Kathy.
You wouldn't do it to Kathy, but you do it
You
to
haven't
me.
seen that one yet, right, Patricia? Guess who's my first volunteer? Looking at you, Patricia. But anyway, so it was a great night. We had so much fun. We tried to find a place to eat afterwards near Info Age, but couldn't do it. And we wound up going to a diner all the way up by where we live. And what's funny, again, sidebar, is that we're at the diner and it's daylight savings. So we're literally driving home, looking at the clock in the car, going 1:58, 1:59, 3 o'clock. And we get home and shower, and by the time you go to bed, it's 4:30 in the morning.
That's brutal.
And I'm sure Colleen probably, God knows what time she got home.
Yeah, Colleen had a long drive back south.
So anyway, that's
Hey,
really
Roger.
what we did. You know, this last week we did the creeper final investigation. We had a great time with John Zaffis. Really, really cool to be working with him after, you know, a while. Haven't seen him since the expo, and didn't really get to hang out with him that much at the expo. So, yeah, Nikki saw us at the diner and totally blew us off, by the way.
I didn't see you,
She
Nikki.
totally-
I'm sorry. They
I
told me
waved
you
to
were
her.
there.
The other ones were too good to
Hey,
wave to
Pam.
her. They wanted to go
Hey,
in their
Colette.
separate section because they think they're celebrities. They all walk in, you know, Chris, Colleen, Danielle, Tanya, Kenny. They all walk into the diner, you know, like they're celebrities. And we went to another section in the back of the diner. Nikki and Joy were sitting in the front when you first walk in. I'm the only one who noticed them. And what did John do? Again, just Joe average. How you doing, guys?
You do
The
realize
celebrities, they went right to their private table in a whole separate room.
his perspective is just completely.
Nikki will tell you. She'll back me up.
Wow.
Nikki, who was the only one to wave to you?
Thank you guys about the hat.
Nikki, who was the only one to wave to you? Tell the truth. Go ahead.
Were
Right
you
here.
waving to her or
I-
threatening her?
I waved to her. I don't even know why that's funny, but okay. Hey, Pam, how are you? So anyway, so that was Saturday. Coming up this week, and again, I get all my dates messed up here. I think it's Thursday. I'm almost positive it's Thursday. Joy and I were with the common folk. Thank you, Nick. Nikki's right. And I waved to the common folk. I got nothing against common folk. Hey, hello, common people. We're going to go in the VIP paranormal area, but enjoy your meal, common people. So anyway, coming up Thursday, Dan Class, very good friend of ours. We've known Dan for many years now. And Dan is the owner of the Hinsdale House. Now, we've had Dan on both our cable access show,
Yeah.
and we've had him on here a couple of years ago at least.
Yeah. It's been a
And
while.
Dan's a good guy. Dan took that house from being a S-hole. You could fill in the S word. That house was,
Falling down.
it was nothing.
He saved it from being demolished.
He bought it for next to nothing,
Yeah.
and just
They were going to
literally,
demolish it. He
little
saved it
by
from being
little,
demolished.
windows, roof, you name it. He restored the whole entire building. So we're going to go into the history of the Hinsdale. We're not going to cover all that here and now. The history of the Hinsdale house. And again, they were just featured on Project Beer. They did an episode with them, which I've yet to watch. I need to watch that. And so I'll watch the episode so we get a little more information on what they captured and whatever went on there.
Right.
And we'll interview Dan, and Dan will tell us all about the building, how he acquired it, the history of the building, and all that's gone on.
He's got an interesting back history himself.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting in itself,
We'll be seeing him September. Yeah, Dan's a good guy. Dan's a great guy. Dan is one of the guys in the paranormal field where he really doesn't have a beef with anyone. He doesn't crap talk anyone in this field. And
just does his thing.
I like Dan. I've liked Dan again since I met him. And so we'll do the Hinsdale House interview on Thursday. And then next, I want to say Tuesday, is when Judy Hartkey will be on for the spirit draw, whatever she calls it, the spirit art, where she'll do a reading on someone, and it'll be a past life reading. So she'll draw where you were in your past life, kind of the environment, and then she'll do a reading with someone where a loved one or a friend, whoever comes across, she'll actually sketch a picture of the person that she's communicating with. We've done this
etching.
Before.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What comes through.
So we've done this before, and people have really liked it. So we need 2 people, and I like for it to be 2 people that haven't gotten readings before, as far as the dreams and this and anything like that. Rachel, you'd be a good person because I don't recall you ever being on live and doing that. But I'd rather 2 new people do it. So, if you haven't done it before and gotten a reading.
And that'll mean you'll come on live on the camera with the guest as they're doing what they're doing, so they can ask you questions.
Yeah, you'll be side by side with them, and you'll see them sketching while they're asking you questions, and they'll be giving you the reading as they're, doing the sketch.
Yeah.
So I think
let's actually do it.
Yeah.
Let's do someone new.
I mean, Luann, we'll never have you on.
You kill one bunny in
never,
your out.
Never.
Alex, are you saying you would be interested in doing it?
We watched the movie. This goes back a ways, and I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with it. There's a movie with Jennifer Lopez called The Cell. And in the movie The Cell, you could go into the person's mind and see what's going on. So Jennifer Lopez is like a psychiatrist, child psychologist, and she has to go into the mind of a serial killer, and all this weird stuff is in there. I think Luann maybe somewhere in that wheelhouse where I wouldn't go in Luann's brain and see those dead bunnies and whatever else is going on there.
So you have Alex that will do it, and you have an...
Well, they can message through the page. I'm not going to, unless you want to keep track.
Yeah, Alex, and there's an Ann Batucci.
So you guys, I guess, are on board, because if you're not, then it's Chris's fault because she didn't remember, because I would rather you message me, but Chris
yes, we need you to message.
No.
The only reason why we need you to message because he's got to send you the link. So
Roger, so let Roger do it.
We can have Roger do it.
Roger's definitely doing it. So Roger and Alex.
Yeah, Alex has never done it.
And we'll do it again. We're going to do the dream stuff again too. So that's what I have set up for the time being. And I am going to set up more interviews and stuff because I do like doing them. I like talking to people. We haven't been on as frequently because, again, from the holidays to now, lots of different things come up, things happen, and we just haven't gotten on. We've been sick on and off, the 2 of us, like everyone else. So we're planning on coming back more and, doing more interviews and stuff. Probably end up in Russia. I'm hopeless with technology. But I'm tempted to do the past life thing, but I don't know if I believe in it. I really don't. I really don't believe in past lives. It's just me. I don't know. Again, it makes sense that if we're energy-based beings and we are, that we would be kind of recycled, I guess, but I don't think it works that way. I really don't. But then again, there are that woman that we interviewed with the boy Atlas, who was a little boy who remembered his past life. So
yeah, and it
who
didn't
the
make
hell
sense.
knows?
And then they went down that rabbit hole and they found out all these things that were true from a place he never did, that he never even went to, or people they didn't even know that were thousands of miles away from in another state. So that was pretty cool in itself. They're asking what kind of experiences did we have at Camp Evans?
You guys do a past life. Well, again, we'll ask Judy to come back on and do it again after this because she really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
And she was going to reach out to me when I reached out to her, but that was right before everything happened. And I put it off until I felt good enough to do it. We'll talk about the Camp Evans stuff. We are all in different spaces when we do events. Sometimes there's 4 of us, sometimes there's 5 of us. So I only know what I'm doing and what I'm experiencing for 4 hours. So I can't speak to Kenny, Tanya, Danielle, Colleen, and Chris because I'm only where I am doing what I do. So in my area, there's things. Here's what I love about the paranormal and doing what we do. I think there are. Again, I'm not going to name anybody in particular because I don't know who does what, but I think there are people out there who kind of look at things a different way in doing the things that we do. My goal for any event is to, if no one's ever been with us before, is to give them a little bit of information, do whatever we can to engage with spirit and communicate with them on some level and hopefully open their mind a little bit, especially if they're a skeptic or a non-skeptic or whatever. But also, and I hope this comes across when we're doing this. I can speak for me. I don't know about for you and for Tanya and Kenny and Danielle. And I enjoy being part of the investigation. I'm with you. When I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm in the moment waiting to experience whatever's going to happen as much as the people who are there. That's the God's honest truth, because there are so many times that I'm surprised. And if you've ever been with me and done this, you can see it. I'm not faking. I'm literally as surprised as anybody else when my name gets said on a spirit box and an app, or in this case, when there he is, Cody. Hey. What's up, man? It's been forever.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I hope the hip's okay, Cody. We haven't talked to you in forever.
Running track now.
You think so? But Cody, it's been forever, man. You guys got to come on. Hope you're doing well, though. I hope the hip is healing. What was I talking about? Oh, being part of the event. There was part of it last night where the spirit box all of a sudden locked into a little girl talking, and I don't know what group it was. I don't know who was part of it. And we heard her talking, and we heard her start singing a little bit, and it was so freaking cool because there is a little girl. For some reason, John Zaffis seems to think she's Native American, that she was on the land prior to, because there is a Native American burial ground.
Yeah, there is. There.
So John seems to think that it's a Native American girl who, for whatever reason, is there for whatever reason. And to hear her talking and singing, again, in the moment, you're like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. You know what I mean? And I'm not paying for it. So I get to go and have fun and be with people and experience everything that's going on.
I'm with you on
You know what I mean? And I love doing that. I love doing that. Wow. You know?
I'm going to be honest with you. You had the little girl with the dollhouse, but do you remember when we were filming there with Channel 11 and I told him about that door?
That's second floor.
On the second floor in the conference room, all the way back in the back office where they said there's stuff that's happening all the time that makes Gloria very uncomfortable. And she won't stay up there by herself, especially when it starts to get dark. She's out of there. But literally, in that room, there is a cabinet that's in the corner that when we were doing an event and people were up there, the door actually opened and somebody was sitting over there. So we kind of thought, oh, it did it, like it just got, it moved, it wasn't closed properly, whatever. So we closed it, we made sure, and it opened again, and it opened very slowly. So we literally took a chair and put it smack up against it so that it would not open. And as soon as we did that, boom, 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 knocking came from the inside, freaked us all out. And this happened last year. So we go in with Channel 11 during the Halloween segment, and it happens right in front of all of them, just like I said it does. And it was caught on film and things like that. So I was up there again, and it opened, and I told Danielle, because I do get freaked out.
Is anybody shocked? You guys shocked?
I said, put the chair in front of that dang thing, because we're not dealing with that tonight. Just put it there, because I'm not going to have that happen. So we're in different areas where things are happening, and in that office and stuff, and boom. And it was, radiators making sounds in that building, stuff, boom, came right from that thing. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not. So I was with Gil, his wife, and Patricia, and literally we told them about that door, and they all wanted to experience it. They wanted to see it. So we moved the chair. They tested the doors. They put the lock on. They were doing whatever, what you should do. And we said, yeah, I go, you know what? Let's put something there and see if we can get it to come out. So we put a dome there. And as soon as I said, would you please come out, the dang dome went, and the door started to creep open very slow. And we moved way, and Patricia got to see it. And Karen and Patricia had such a good time in there, and I left.
Karen was a trip.
It's yours.
Yeah, Karen was a trip. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get to lock many people in a cage the way I normally get to, because I kept running out of time. But I know Nikki was very disappointed. I had her going towards the cage, but then time ran out. But there is something over the years that I've seen when we haven't been in a building in a while, and we haven't been to Camp Evans since Halloween.
Yeah.
So November, December, January, February, March, 5 months maybe. And there is something about, I think, coming back in there and then reconnecting. I do think in some cases with some buildings, those people, spirits, whatever you want to call them, I think they're just waiting, and they're like, oh, they're back. And some of them are like, they're back, and others are like, oh, they're back, and we get to engage with both of them that want us there and don't want us there.
I'm gonna tell you something really funny.
Christine.
And when we first started going to Camp Evans, all the way down on the second floor hall, if you go up the stairs and you go all the way down to the right, there's a real creepy hall if you turn right. And right before you get there, there's a door to go into this big conference type of room. And I used to do scrying in there.
Oh, that's right.
We'd see red eyes and creepy things that would go around and things that would happen. And then I came back one time to do it, and it was all locked up. It was now used as an office, and that's just it. Just couldn't use it anymore. They had a lock, and it was for private use. So I went back to doing the office kind of stuff when that stuff started happening in the office with the door. And we walked in there, getting ready to set up, and Gloria goes, by the way, there's a room that's open to you now all the way down to the end of the hall that was closed off. Catholic Charities was in there for a few years, and they've decided they don't want to do anything about it anymore. They don't want to be in that room. They see red eyes. They see this thing that keeps going. They call it the hag, which immediately I'm just like, what and what they mean is like a witch and stuff like that. And the crazy thing is that Gloria didn't know that when I did the scrying and stuff, this stuff would happen when we were in there. So this Catholic Charities got chased out of there. I guess they used it while they were conducting their business for the Catholic Charities. And John Zaffis had no idea. All he knew was that this room was open for the first time that he'd never been in. He goes, let's go there, because we always let him pick to where he wants to go. He goes, let's go there. He didn't know any history, didn't know anything. He walked in the room. He goes, yeah, it's different in here. It's darker in here. There's a heaviness in this room. And boy, was it crazy. It was crazy. The stuff that came through.
Yeah, that building, that's why we took Channel 11 there, you
Yeah.
know, because we
It
have
doesn't
several
disappoint.
buildings that we work with. And it's like, you want to experience something? And Ben's like, is it bad? And we're like, come find out for yourself. And he was freaked out. That building, hey Earl, that building freaked him out to the point where, hello Rose, how are you? That building freaked him out to the point where I told you he texted me at 5 o'clock in the morning after we filmed and said
Arrow.
something followed me home. There's stuff going on in my
Yeah,
house, and I had to talk him off the ledge for a full day before things calmed down and he didn't think anything was there. Hey Heather, how are you? But I love that place. And again, we don't really get to get it for all it is because if in May, God willing, the weather is nice, then yes, you're going to experience the bunker as well as the cottage across the road. And no one's been in the cottage but us. Yeah. So that'll be a whole building just dedicated to one person and a group. You go from basement to attic, you know. I am the biggest ever believer. Well, it's good to be a believer. I mean, you should be a believer in the paranormal. You should also be a skeptic. You can be both. Believe me. Lots of people think that you can't be one or the other, or you have to be. If you're one, you can't be the other. You can still be a skeptic and be involved in the paranormal. I am. Believe me, I am. So for me, I got a call today. That's the next thing I'll talk about. Somebody has been messaging me. I won't say his name so he doesn't get bothered. About us coming to investigate a place in North Jersey, sort of up there where the mine is. And him and I have been going back and forth, you know, and just like I said, everything happened, haven't been able to work it out. There's actually another place in North Jersey that wants us to investigate as well. You know what I'm talking about, through the mine. We have to schedule that too. Yep. But this place, I talked to the guy today. We're going to do a walkthrough, not this Wednesday, but a week from this Wednesday. And what do I ask him? What's going on there? What are the claims? What have you experienced? You know, footsteps. What have others experienced? Banging sounds. Yeah. I mean, we went through the whole gamut. The building's 130 years old. It's a social club. And they want us to come in. And they're totally okay with us coming in, streaming it on YouTube, streaming it on New Jersey Paranormal Facebook and TikTok. And we like that because if we're going into somewhere for the first time and we get to do it live, you guys get to see. It's not us just coming back and telling you. You get to see live what happened when we went in there for the first time ourselves too. Hey John, how's it going? We prefer that. So we did work it out. So the walkthrough was the first. I can't wait to walk through it because you said it's a big space, a big basement, and they have an upstairs. And, you know, to be able to just walk through and, you know, when you do a walkthrough of a location, it's more of a hear about it, interview the people you can interview that are there. You know, not necessarily, a home is completely different. A home investigation is completely different than your commercial, if that's what you want to call them. But, you know, we interview who we can, but it's also about walking around and getting a vibe. Like I said, the more I do this, the more places I've been, the more objects that I've worked with. There are places where you walk into and you just get a feeling. Yeah. It's heavier. It feels different, you know, than other areas. But you also ask them, of course, where have you seen this? That's what we were talking about the whole entire time him and I were talking. Where are the areas that you've seen it? The kitchen, this room, the upstairs. And I can't wait to get in there. It's, again, one of those things where we have to schedule it because there aren't a whole lot of free weekends, and we want free weekends, especially when the weather starts getting nice, you know? So even tomorrow we're talking about, I don't know if we're actually going to do it, but we were discussing going up to the mine and filming the second half of that investigation. And this one already said, I'm not going by the dynamite room. I'm not going by the dynamite room. We're going to talk about arranging a sleepover. I'm not staying over either. Well, I don't know. We'll see. 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 We
Not happening.
Well, we're gonna discuss that this weekend. Next weekend when we go to the mine. Is it? No, it's next weekend. When we go to the mine, we're gonna discuss the overnight, if that's even a possibility. So I should know by next week whether that could happen or not. But if we go tomorrow, we're going to continue the investigation, that we started, that you guys watched. And Tanya's talking about coming. And if Tanya comes, Tanya and I will do a session alone in,
because I said I'm not.
and I will do it in that dynamite room area. I don't know where Tanya would go, but I would do it for sure in that dynamite. And
I'll do it in the car.
This one said she won't.
No, I won't. I won't. I absolutely.
No one's gonna force you to.
No, nobody's got. I listen. You can call me whatever you want.
Chicken.
I don't care what you call me. Whatever.
You just said I could whatever I want.
But while you're all being plucked in there and hung up by your feet and stuck on hooks or whatever, and your blood's draining, I'll be out there in the car. I'm telling you,
it'll be at night. We're not going to stream it because you can't stream in the mine. Yeah. You have to film it and then show it like we did the last time. When we show it, we'll do it live here with commentary.
I will not go and stay on overnight in the mine. Now, would I go in the beginning and do? But when things start to ratchet up, yeah, no. The mine scares me. And I know that some people say there's nothing, but there's something about that space right there in that area that if for me something dark starts to come through, and it terrifies me, and I'm not doing it. We've never gone
in there alone, ever, any of us. So again, no Wi-Fi in the mine, so we can't stream it. It would be great to stream it because at least streaming it, you feel a little more secure knowing people are watching you. And if anything happens, they could at least, call somebody in the group and say, get in there, But we don't even know what's going to be going on with the person inside when they're in there, whether it's me or Tanya. But I don't know if we're definitely going to do it. I'm
Alex saying I'll bring my sleeping bag.
Well, it's 50-50 right now, but the thought of going in there by myself in the pitch black, it's okay walking in there with the light. Even that's a little intimidating by yourself, but in the dark, and if you're near the dynamite room, you're sort of at the almost halfway point, maybe quarter of the way. A little bit over a quarter of the way into the mine.
It's a long ways to run.
It's a long way to get out.
Period.
Yeah. In the dark. So, I mean, if something happened, you have to grab your flashlight and just. So, while it would be fun to see, she's not going to do it.
No, because my luck, the battery would go dead on the flashlight. It's like, no. I listen to the fact that I put my big girl panties on and I do an event in there. And when it's done, you see how quickly I get my little out of there. Done.
Whatever that means. But yeah, I wanted to continue that investigation because we had so much activity the first time. And it's one of those things where we'll probably start in that area again and then work our way down. But being alone in that area is something I want to try for sure, because after what happened last time, I'm really curious. But yeah, the thought of being in the dark and trying to get out of there isn't something pleasant. Just like the thought of trying to see if there was somebody in the mine that got in that night. I was just like, God, if there's someone in here, I got to get them out. Yes. There is a ghost hunt with Kalani. It's completely sold out for May 11th. That sold out fairly quickly. And there may or may not be two more. There'll definitely be one more with the guests. The Wraith Chasers will be there in September at the mine. And I'm working on one more. That's where the dates got kind of mixed up. So I'm trying to
work it out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but yeah, overnight, I'm going to ask. I mean, all I can do is ask, and they'll let me know yay or nay.
As far as activities and what goes on in there, it's a great place for that. And for all of you who want to do it and you're adventurous and that, Kudos to you. Not my cup of tea.
No, you don't like tea.
That's exactly it. Not my cup of tea.
But anyway, so that's what's going on, and I like the idea of filming it because A, there's no Wi-Fi, and B, it's when you're streaming, usually there's such a we limit it. We don't want to stream for 3 hours at a time or 4 because people drop off, and at least when we're filming it, we could be in there for a good 2, 3, whatever hours if things are really going good like they did last time, and I could chop off the mundane parts that are just like when we were there the first time, there was some stuff in the beginning that we hit the skip, and it was a little bit here and there, and then we hit that dynamite area, and it was just like.
And you annoyed the crap out and got something aggravated, and it just
You
kept asking the same that question about the date. Oh, and you were trying to, and because he was verifying, and it was just like, and it was almost like it got angry.
Maybe it was angry that you were in the area outside the room.
All I got to say before that boom happened, and it was way louder in person than what we caught, and the fact that we caught they were in that little cove there where they was protected, and where I was standing out, I wasn't.
She is such a jumper. Literally in the room, we're looking for wires for something, and she's leaning down looking in this cubby area. And I came up behind her and I just kind of gave her a little poke on the side. I'm the only one here. It's just her and I. And she still, you scared me. I said, man, you call yourself a paranormal investigator.
No.
But you got to have one of those on your team. Look how successful Ghost Adventures is.
Listen, I don't do this because I'm curious about the other side. I don't do this because
we all know what our new t-shirts.
I want to
we're gonna
find
out after
something.
Tomorrow.
I don't. I have no curiosity. I don't want. But I do understand that people out there have an experience. I grew up with the experiences. I don't want them. They scare the bejeebies out of me, and I make no bones about it.
Language.
And I'm okay with that. But the bottom line is that and I tell people in my group, if something happens, there's a good chance that I'm going to be the first one out the door. And it's the truth, and I'm being very honest.
We're not no one's down to you.
And but I'm not pretending. Like, there are things that do not scare me. 100%. I can handle certain people with no problem, but when it comes to things that I cannot control and I can't fight against and I can't predict and it's invisible and you don't know what it can do to you, because I do and I've experienced it, I want no part of it. But if you guys want to come to a thing where John sets up for an experiment and we can do this, and
Colette, feel better.
I will bring this in. I will be a part of it to help facilitate. But when it happens,
no, Alex, I think there are heebie-jeebies and sheebie-jeebies. I do think there is a difference between the two. You have noticed how you act with John. John, who, me? I'm afraid of heights too. I hate heights. She'll tell you. I don't like being on high buildings or looking out windows or hell no. That's one thing I am afraid of.
I'm terrified of heights
at all. But so anyway, like I said, the next event that we're gonna announce tickets for will be announced. That'll be the
good night, Colette.
That'll be the March 15th. Satorian now. We got both of them.
Everyone be careful of these two.
Satori, where you been? Cody popped up. You pop up. You don't pop up together in the same place. What's going on with that? It's like Superman and Clark Kent. You never seen them in the same area. We're just talking about Chris being a chicken, Satori. Nothing we haven't talked about before.
It has nothing to do with being a chicken. It's just being smart.
Oh, did I say chicken?
You did. There are a lot of things I'm not afraid of. Let's get that straight. But let me tell you, you get a spirit that comes in and scares me or takes me. Yeah, it scares me, and I'm okay with that. That's not a chicken. That's called smart.
Well,
common sense.
That would be. Believe me, I am apprehensive about going into any building alone. I've done alone investigations before, but I've done them on live stream.
Everyone needs an area.
I never felt like I was alone when I did those live stream investigations because I know people were watching. I know they kind of know where I was. So if God forbid there was a Blair Witch moment where the camera dropped and I was just standing in the corner,
and I have a different view.
eventually someone
I have
would
a
call
different
the
view
police.
of that. Even if people are watching live, they're not going to get there in time to stop what is about to happen. I've been in those situations. I've had sisters in the room next to me who I'm screaming bloody murder for help that never come. So no.
Now you're talking about me, paranormal savior. I would get there in time.
No, you wouldn't. You would leave me.
I let it film for about
you would
5 minutes, so there
me
was good
there.
footage, and then I would
You
come
and
running.
Tanya both would leave me there.
I let you
because
scream.
you guys would find it entertaining
I
as
let you
hell.
scream for about a minute.
No, you wouldn't.
Just to get some footage.
We all know the truth.
Then I'd come running.
We all know the truth. I almost got hit in the carriage room at Liberty Hall.
Needs to be a button. Yeah, you're right about that, Satori.
Almost got hit.
I have a mug. I have an action figure, and I have a shirt. A button would be nice. Remember that, people. Button for the next one. But anyway,
Thank you, Roger.
I've done them on live stream. I did the Caldwell Parsonage by myself. I did Wyckoff. I went in by myself.
I did, but I sat by the door. I did.
That's not really being inside. You're almost outside if you're by the door.
And that's only because I've had a bad experience in there being by myself, and you know that. So, no.
Well, you can investigate the mind from the car. How's that? We'll put you in on cell phone. But
thank you,
I did the Creeper Gallery by myself in the basement, and that was one of the freakiest things that ever happened to me, because those footsteps. Now, something like that happening in the mind would be really crazy.
Could you imagine being alone and having what happened the last time we were in the mind?
Work on that.
Oh Lord, come through.
But you have to make one for someone else, or she'll be jelly and begging for one of her own. Won't mention any names, but if I get one, somebody else needs one, or they feel jelly. But the mind, no Wi-Fi.
No.
And we're not going to be on the cell phone with each other while we're in there.
Can't.
It'll just be
you're isolated.
You go in, set the timer, and if you're not out by the time, we're going to do 20 minutes. And if you're not out by the time, did you see that? Is that an eternity for you? 20 minutes?
In that place? Yes.
She literally.
It's like being
what?
No.
And we're going to set it for 20 minutes. And if the person ain't out in 20 minutes, yes, then we will run in.
Might be too late.
Very well. I mean, if they don't come running out themselves.
Perfect example. We were doing tours, you and I, remember? It was you, me, and Danielle, where we brought people in on a tour when we did an event there. And we were on the side that I always do by the spring, okay? Because that is the closer to the exit and back to civilization out of the mind. So right there, and I kept telling you, if you stand in the middle and the lights are completely out and you're there and you're facing the up towards the mine, if you stand there and you're alone, there's something that rushes you. Now explain to you what finally happened to you being in that area where you had the woman that was standing over behind you.
Nothing rushed me, but I was...
She got rushed.
Yeah, she felt like something rushed her. And when she came out of there, and I moved the flashlight from pointing in one direction, I panned it like I am right now in that direction to go over in that way. And while I was panning it, I saw the silhouette of a man with a miner's hat on.
That wouldn't scare you?
Now, ask her what happened after that. Ask her if John was still standing in that one spot he was in.
Oh, we both know you got marbles in your head.
Ask her.
But again, you had people
say... Did he yell the F word from one end of the mine to the other while running for the door?
If you'd have been alone and that had happened, what happened in the mine?
Good night, Ann.
What would you have done? Good night, Ann. What would you have done?
What would I have done? I would have tried to talk to them.
When that bang happened where I came in?
No, I would have still had to look for someone because I thought somebody was in the mine.
You wouldn't have just packed up and got your booty out of there?
You're the one who wanted to do that.
I wanted to leave. Well, I wanted, what? Leave?
To leave.
Oh, you bet your pippy I wanted to leave. I was done.
When that sort of thing happens, you keep going. You find out why, who did it.
No, I'm good.
What
You know
was
who
the
did it?
intention?
You know who did it? Someone who shouldn't be there. End of story.
Maybe they did it to get our attention and to
Well, they
direct
got
us
it.
in another.
They got it. You proved you were there. I'm good. Goodbye.
Well,
I know.
not what happened this time.
You're crazy town.
Not what happened
And
this
you
time.
need to go off into
Yes,
the
we
deep
need
end.
answers. Thank you.
I don't. I'm good. Yeah, run right.
That's
right,
the
Fred.
shirt we should get. Run, Chris, run.
I have health issues, and he'll tell you. And moving is sometimes very hard. But man, when you're scared and the adrenaline's going, I'm gone.
If we do it tomorrow, and we go up there and we film for a couple hours, whatever.
Yeah.
They may see the footage of me or Tanya running. If something, I may be saying, you know what? By this time, well, we're interviewing Dan on Thursday. Friday, we're making the announcement, so maybe we'll show the footage if I get edited in time. Maybe not, but you may see footage of us running. I highly doubt it, but it could happen.
Don't mock me.
I'm not mocking you. At the most, that would happen if I ever got to the point where I was scared.
You never get scared.
I never said that.
Okay.
But I said if I ever got to that point, and I was shaken up at that noise, it was loud.
Darn bippy. That was terrifying.
But if I ever got to that point, yes, I would probably do another EVP session. Try to
in that moment, you just
try to figure out who it was and why they did it. And if they did it again, then I'd get out of there. Because that would be a hell of a sign. No, we're not live you cannot stream from the mine. There's no way. There's no
we
Wi-Fi.
have to go there and
we would go there,
film them doing what they're doing, and like I'll go in, and when they're in there, I'll go in with them, but going in alone.
No, we would have to go in there and just film it. There were no streaming, no nothing, and then I'd have to take it home, and like we did the first time.
Alex says send them into the scariest, creepiest place we've ever been.
That's what it's all about. And for some, I mean, it's about, I'm watching these I know we're almost about done here, but I'm watching some YouTube videos, and I won't mention who they are or what they do, but they're in the demon house. And they're the demon house. We're in the basement of the demon house.
That's
and we're doing this at the demon house. And it was just like, everything is like so way over the top. And, there was like research done on the place where no one ever called it really the demon house.
Yeah, they just named it that.
For the YouTube video that these people were doing, they kind of referred to it as that.
Well, that gets people to watch.
It was just, there are scary places, man. There really are. I'm not saying there aren't. And
I don't think we've ever come across a demon ever.
I don't think we ever will.
Ever. We've never, and I believe in them, but we've never come across him. What we do.
We ever will,
but we have come across some pretty darn scary, whatever's coming in to visit. That's for sure. And there's some that like to intimidate.
Whatever's coming to visit.
Whatever's coming to visit that I don't want to.
What a way to phrase it. I don't even know. Again, I don't know where these things come from. I really don't. They're in there. Anyway, so as of now, it will probably be, what do we say? Alex and who else?
Roger.
What is it?
Roger.
She's got an English accent all of a sudden. Roger. So Alex and Roger, I'm going to write the names down so we have them. And that'll be for next week. I think it's Tuesday. But Thursday, it's Dan Class, our friend, Hinsdale House. And it's been a while. John Zaffis mentioned wanting to go to the Hinsdale House, and he mentioned wanting to come up with us. And it's far, man. It's 5 hours from us, almost 6. So if John were to do it, yes, I would do it with him in a heartbeat. But for us to go back up there again, no, there's other places I would go. I've been there, so I would go.
Well, I wanted to go up in the woods, and that's one place you didn't want to go.
Again, she's afraid of everything under the sky.
I'm not afraid of that.
Being out in the woods, I'm more afraid of being in the woods because of effing bears and
That's
whatever
tangible.
else is out
That's
there.
tangible.
Tangible, they still kill you. This is what I mean. A little ding or a bang, she runs like, you know.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of things usually in front of me. I mean, when the bear was right behind me, that scared me, and the guy scared him off. But no, because I grew up going up into the woods and doing stuff. And
no, I would never go Sasquatching either. I would never, ever, ever, ever do that because it's crazy. B, there is no Sasquatch, and C, I'm not going to be out in the woods because the bears are going to come running because they're going to think it's the dinner bell.
The reason why I said going up into the woods is because there's a burial site that's up over in there, and that would be really unique and cool to go up into, and it's very isolated. So
I said those bears will be like,
yes,
stupid humans making this stupid noise and banging on trees.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's like a Happy Meal. Anyway, so we'll see you guys Thursday, Dan class, and whatever happens tomorrow, you'll find out. As we potentially, again, it's 50-50. I like the idea of it right now, but we'll see what happens. I like the idea of going into the mine by myself, though. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll let you know. All right, guys. Good seeing you all again. Thank you for coming to the event on the weekend. Big announcement coming on Friday for an event you will not want to miss, along with other events that I'm going to be releasing. You know, it's like I'm into the end of May, almost June events now. So it's going fast. Anyway, have a good night, guys.
Have a good night. Be safe. Stay healthy. Please. There's a lot of people that are not doing this, and the more of us that do it, the better this world will be. Please be kind to each other. If you have nothing nice to say nothing, and just be positive for others around you. You have no idea what they're going through. And stay strong. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.